Hey, what's up, guys? I just wanted to do a quick update because I'm kind of a doofus and I did an oopsie, and I guess I just have to chalk it up to no sleep or just being a doofus. I don't know. But anyway, in the review today for this guy, and hopefully I get this update uploaded on the same day so that makes sense. But on the review for this guy, I compared him to this guy. I said that was a request from somebody to compare him to this guy. That's not what happened at all. This is the Series 8 cap, and that's not what I was supposed to compare it to. And so what I was supposed to compare it to is this one, because this one actually makes sense. This is the face-off cap, but what happened was I couldn't find this guy at first, and I did find this guy, so I decided to myself, well, I'll just do this one, it's a similar enough thing, but then I still called it the face-off cap in the video, confusing a bunch of people and making everyone think I'm stupid. And I just wanted to clarify that is not the case. No, I wanted to just show you guys the comparison that's actually relevant. First of all, these guys do share a lot of parts. Well, at least some parts. Very few parts, but some parts are similar and some parts are the exact same. So these are both the older figures. This one is far superior in many ways, though. Okay, so this is the face-off Captain America based on the classic pirate boot, pirate glove Captain America look. So here's the comparison that I should have done before. Obviously, this guy has the Toy Biz look, which is not to say it's not exaggerated by a lot in a lot of ways, but it is by far a lot more heroic looking than this guy, which looks like it could just be most anybody who's got some muscles on him. This guy has a very clear V shape to him, and obviously he's got the same thick chest and back. Here, let me get the shield off of his back. Oh, by the way, we have elastic bands on the shield, which is kind of a cool thing. Not necessarily a necessity, but it's still kind of a cool thing, so we can pop that off real quick. It looks a lot better than the pegs, but you can see this guy does have the actual proper build for his torso, a real meaty back, a real meaty chest, and this guy doesn't have anywhere near the neck issue that the other one had. His head fits much better. All in all, a much better look. Gloves are definitely exaggerated, but he's definitely got more of that like comic book styling as opposed to this guy. His scale mail is much tinier. I'll show you that up close. So I'm just giving you guys a good idea so you can kind of decide what you want to collect. There's a strong argument for these older Toy Biz figures, despite their somewhat stylized proportions. And obviously, the Face-Off series had a lack of QC for the paint for sure, but it is covered in paint at least. And obviously, this guy's scale mail is a whole lot more, I guess, chunky is a good way of putting it. But there's a comparison. This guy's got shading just about everywhere, and of course some paint issue for sure. Whereas this guy doesn't really have any paint on him at all, except for on the chest and the stripes. So yeah, there's just a little bit to consider there. One thing I want to point out though, I thought this was pretty funny, and in like a sad kind of way. When I showed this guy, somebody was like, no, that's not what chests look like. They should look like this. When they're sculpted like this, they just look like boobs. I think he said breasts, but I mean, I would have said breasticles. But that's not what boobs look like. I just want to point that out there for whoever it is that said that. Maybe someday you'll be able to figure that out for yourself, but those are definitely not shaped like breasts, female breasts. And this is not shaped like pecs very much either. In fact, this is by far a much more superhero-looking build. Also, this one does have a butterfly joint, which is fairly functional and doesn't destroy the sculpt at all. Believe it or not, that can be done. And so there's definitely some benefit here. But I think the biggest thing I want to point out across these two, which you guys can obviously just see for yourself, is the colors. He's a lot bluer. He's a lot brighter blue. He's got a little bit of a brighter red. And then his shield also, I don't have this one's shield with me anymore because this is a separate day, but his shield was very dark if you remember. It matched his gloves basically. This guy has the proper red, white, and blue shield too, so yeah, there's definitely something to be said for these older figures. They definitely suffer from a lot of issues. I'm not blinded by that. I'm not one of those people that's in either camp of Toy Biz or Hasbro. But I will say, Toy Biz definitely tried a whole lot harder. A whole lot harder. QC issues abound. This guy still has lots of paint on him and a whole lot of little details. For example, look at his pants. His pants have seams and wrinkles on them. This guy's pants are just painted legs. Things like that. It makes a difference. This guy's shirt right here, it has wrinkles throughout. This guy's shirt is a painted abdomen. It's just all over. The biceps. More wrinkles on the face-off. Focus. Wrinkles on the face-off. Painted skin on that side. The gloves. Stitch work and wrinkles everywhere. I mean, there's a significant difference between the two styles. And it's really going to come down to what you prefer because they both have benefits. They both have significant detriments, if that's the right way of wording it. But this way you guys have a better comparison. I would personally say, if you like both, get both. And that way you don't have to choose. You have both in your collection. You have one that's very stylized and a lot more fun. You have one that's a lot less stylized and a lot less fun, but probably a higher level of quality control. This one, like I said, is definitely riddled with QC issues. The whole face-off line was. And then the last thing I want to do is, instead of Captain America, we're just going to go ahead and look at Colonel America real quick. I made a joke because it's Colonel Guile, which is an American soldier. But this guy is also a really good figure. If you wanted to add him to your collection, I wouldn't blame you, and I just wanted to show you him because I had him out. And it does go to show these kind of figures. There's something to be said about this older generation of figures where there was so much heart and soul in them, despite their issues, as opposed to these ones, which are so much more cookie cutter and just bland looking. But that's my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry I had to make the update, but I did want to get that information out to you guys. So now you at least do get to see face-off Cap against this new Cap, and you can make your decisions for yourself from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Keep collecting.